Good morning, friends. Let's start with this second unit, mechanical systems. In last lecture, we have discussed about the solar energy heat collectors, solar SWHS, that is solar heat SWHS, that is solar water heat systems, right? In this we have flat collector, in general are used in flat collector. So then after we have discussed about the biofuels, basics of biofuels, that is what is biofuels, that is unlike other renewable energy sources, biomass can be converted directly into liquid fuels called as biofuels to help meet transportation fuel needs. The two most common types of biofuels used today are ethanol and biodiesel. So we have already discussed these two types. What is see here? The bioenergy technologies is collaborating with industry to develop next generation biofuels made from non-food resources. Over the past decade, biotechnology focus on cellulosic ethanol, investing in technology advances throughout the supply chain. These activities successfully validated by the critical technologies of cellulose ethanol production. Right. Then we have discussed ethanol. Ethanol. So, what is ethanol? What is the formula? Chemical CH3CH2OH. This is the chemical composition of this. Ethanol is renewable fuel that can be made from various plant materials collectively known as biomass. Ethanol is an alcohol used as a blending agent with gasoline to increase octane and cut down carbon monoxide and other smoke causing emission. So then we have discussed biodiesel. See here, what is biodiesel is a liquid fuel produced from the renewable sources such as a new and used vegetable oils and animal fats, and is a cleaner burning replacement for petroleum based diesel fuel. Biodiesel is non-toxic and biodegradable and is produced by combining alcohol with vegetable oil, animal fat, or recycled cooking grease. Next important point, international. Recent advances in biodiesel. See here, recent advances in biofuel research. Even though use of fossil fuel leads to emission of harmful gases, which cause such a negative environmental effect as receding of glaciers, loss of the biodiversity, climate change in sea level, etc. Fossil fuel still remains um, primary energy source with contribution of amount 80%, in which transport sector takes share of 58%. Many alternative fuel sources, however, exist, including biofuel. Biofuels are normally used for heat and power production, whereas liquid biofuels are generally employed in the transportation sector. So The advances of biofuels over the petroleum fuel include ease of extraction from the biomass. It's a combustion based on carbon dioxide cycle. They are sustainable due to biodegradable property. More environmentally friendly sustainability of biofuel, however, as a whole of many seems questionable because in spite of benefits the production of and end use of biofuels have a serious impact on the environment, such as destruction of forest, increase in soil degradation, reduction in the food production, use of large amount of water. Therefore, in addition to soil and energy crops, many other types of biomass have been studied and used recently to overcome above mentioned negative effect. So then lignocellulosic biomass can be divided into several groups such as energy crops, grass, and other dedicated energy, aquatic energy, forest material, right? Agriculture residues, even organic portion of municipal solid waste. Each group of biomass has some potential to be used for ethanol production, to complement traditionally used sugarcane and corn to meet growing bioethanol demand. So marine biomass including seaweeds is a new source of biofuels feedstock, producing the highest percentage of biomass productivity in the leisure time. The recent research focuses on the effective utilization of algal biomass for liquid biofuel production such as ethanol and butanol, via sugar production by enzyme hydrolysis and fermentation by respective microbes. The reported advantages of seaweeds for biofuel research include the growth of rate of seaweeds and biomass production was significantly higher than the flowering plant. The land required for the cultivation is completely low as compared to the terrestrial plants. No requirement of fresh water, pesticides, and fertilizers for growth. Recent research efforts also aim at increasing efficiency of the fermentation process. For instance, the bacteria have drawn special attention because requires less fermentation time as compared to the yeast. However, all microorganisms have limitations either in the inability to process certain classes of simple sugar or the low yield of the end product. Nonetheless, it has been reported that mid to long term technology development will improve the fermentation efficiency of the bacteria and yeast, as well as the resistance. Numerous advantages in the biomass gasification technology have made it possible to process diverse biomass feedstock in efficient and cost effective manner. to generate H2 which can be used as a feedstock to produce multiple biofuels. Moreover, the latest developments in the syngas cleanup processing technology have enabled its uses as a raw material for catalytic biofuel generation. So this is all about the mechanical system. We have discussed all the mechanical systems in the chapter. I'll repeat all these for 5 to 10 minutes. Listen here. If you have any doubt, please ask me on phone. Okay. In mechanical system, we have discussed first thermal energy system and energy conservation in boiler. In this steam distribution, we have discussed then compressed air system, refrigeration air conditioning system, pumps and solar hot water systems, basics of biofuels, international advances in biofuels, resource production, and we have to discuss some case studies of regarding to biofuels in the practical. So, what is thermal energy system and energy conservation in boiler? See here, a boiler is an enclosed vessel that provides means for combustion heat to transfer into water until it becomes heated water or steam, right? The process heating for this is radiation, convection and conduction. Then we have discussed about the efficiency of boiler. That is the percentage of input that effectively utilized to generate the steam. There are two methods that we have discussed. First one is direct method, second one is indirect method, right? The formula for boiler efficiency by the direct method, heat output divided by heat input into 100. Then we have discussed the energy conservation opportunities in boiler. In boiler, that is a stack temperature. We have to consider the stack temperature, pure water, preheating using economizer, by next combustion air preheater, then incomplete combustion, excess air control, radiation and convection heat losses, reduction boiler steam pressure, variable speed control for fans, blowers and pumps, effect of boiler loading on efficiency, proper boiler scheduling. These are the terms that we have to consider for the energy conservation in the boiler. Then we have discussed about the simple case study done in a paper mill. Then energy conservation in a steam distribution, that is here in the industries steam distribution is different as per requirement. So we have discussed with diagram the steam distribution system. Then we have discussed working of then energy saving opportunities. Energy saving opportunities in the steam distribution system or in a boiler. See, monitoring steam traps for testing a steam trap, right? Then flash steam, continuous steam blow and no flow indicate there is a problem in the trap. Then avoiding steam leakage, then providing dry steam for process, then utilizing at the lowest acceptable pressure for the process, then proper utilization of directly injected steam, then minimizing heat transfer barriers, condensate recovery, insulation of steam pipeline and hot pressure equipment that we have discussed. Opportunities in the boiler. Energy conservation opportunities in the compressed air system, right? In the compressed air only 10 to 30 energy reaches the point of end of use. Balance 70 to 90% energy will get waste in the form of heat loss, actuation loss, etc. So for the efficient operation of a compressed air system, we have to decide the location of the compressor, cool air intake, dust free air intake, then dry air intake, then elevation. These are the point we have to remember for the energy conservation in the boiler. Then we have discussed energy conservation in the refrigeration and air conditioning system. Then optimize in these opportunities are optimization of a processed heat exchanger, then maintenance of heat exchanger surface, multi-stacking for efficiency, then matching capacity of to system load, capacity of control and energy efficiency, multi-level refrigeration for plant need, chilled water storage and system design features. Then energy conservation opportunities in the pumping system. Here for this ensure adequate NPSH at the site of installation, ensure availability of basic instruments at pumps like pressure gauge, flow meter, operate pump near best efficiency point. So stop running multiple pumps. These when question will ask, write down the energy conservation in the pumping system. Then you have to write these points. Then energy opportunities in the fans and blowers, the fan type. Then energy opportunities in a fan, minimizing demand of the fan. All right. Then solar water heating system, that is solar in this solar water and solar collector and solar tanks. The collector used in the generally is a flat type collector. In this passive solar water heaters, solar collector, flat type solar collector, then economic benefits of SWHS, that is fuel saving, electricity saving, improvement in product quality, increase in the production, reduction in raw material consumption. Then last point we have discussed in this is basic of biofuels. The biofuels biomass can convert it directly into a liquid. It is called as biofuels. There are two general types of biofuels used. One is ethanol and second one is biodiesel. Then we have discussed recent advances in the fuels. So friends, if you have any doubt, then ask me on phone. We have completed 2 chapters up to this. For the next chapter, that is cogeneration, we have to take one case study on cogeneration also. When this lockdown is closed, then we will go to the site and for the case study of cogeneration. Thank you.